Hey, what's up guys? It's Lance and I am back. I am going to do a little thing for the new year. Basically, I want to compose my top 10 list of the top 10 films or movies that have come out this year. Pretty decent year for movies to say the least. A pretty solid year. I really enjoyed myself going to the movies this year. There's been some great films. I have an honorable mention list which I will be mentioning first. So I guess without further ado, I won't take up any more of your time. Let me get right down to it. For honorable mention, we have Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was a film that I really loved when I saw it because of the script. The script was one of the best scripts I've heard in a while. Aaron Sorkin, like his screenwriting, I think with anything, even The Newsroom, especially The Social Network. The Social Network is probably my favorite film Aaron Sorkin has written. Aaron Sorkin came back to Steve Jobs with Danny Boyle, and this film was really very touching. Like, it was emotional, but also it was really about like what was going through Steve Jobs' head at the three most crucial times in his career, when it came down to Apple and when it came down to his own ventures. And I think that the script really exhibited what he was as this icon that we now all refer to him today. And his relationship with his daughter, I think, was really the centerpiece of the movie. And I just think the script really wrapped it all up really good. Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. The action was on point. The characters were there. The same characters that you saw in the last two installments of the Mission Impossible franchise. Tom Cruise proved himself as an actor and as a stunt person once again. He is an action star, and I hope that he keeps on making these movies. Straight Outta Compton, another film that I really enjoyed myself while watching. This, it was really a surprise, because when I saw this in the theater, I didn't think that I was going to see as good as a film as I came out seeing. It was really good. Whether it was Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, any of those guys, MC Ren, really cool. Another film in which I thought was kind of like low radar now, I guess you can say, but should have got way more recognition than it did, was Ex Machina. It really was great science fiction. It was almost like a Stanley Kubrick type of science fiction film that I really enjoyed while watching. Alex Garland, this was, I think, his first feature length film. I think he had written a whole bunch of scripts before he did this one. Alicia Vikander is terrific. Donald Gleason, Oscar Isaac. I mean, need I say more? This film was really good, had a great cast, and I just thought that it was one of the most underappreciated films, I guess you can say. I think it's partly because it came out earlier in the year. My next honorable mention is Kingsman: The Secret Service. This was one of the funnest, most exhilarating experiences I've had in the theater since last January. It came out early in the year, so not a lot of people put it in their top 10 or even honorable mention, because I think maybe they forgot about it, but I certainly didn't. I mean, I just like Matthew Vaughn. His films are some of the most standout, like Kick-Ass, for example. I thought Kick-Ass was awesome, and I wish he had did the sequel, but of course, he's moved on to bigger and better things. But Kingsman: The Secret Service, really good movie. So now we're down to my top 10. Coming in at number 10 is a film that I think is quite possibly the most underrated film of this year. It didn't make any top 10 lists that I have seen so far, not even honorable mentions. It won Sundance last year, which is crazy. Not a lot of people saw the film. It barely made its budget back, and that is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. I really enjoyed it. It was like one of those films that I really thought that should have had more recognition than it wanted. I thought the script was great. The acting was awesome. You had John Bernthal on there, and I thought he had really a solid performance in that movie. It almost reminded me of a Wes Anderson movie, and I guess that's kind of why maybe I'm a little bit biased towards it. Number 9 is a film that I've seen twice now. It is an animated featurette called Inside Out. Yes, it was a great movie. It was Pixar's best since, I don't even know, maybe Toy Story 3. Honestly, I hadn't seen a film like this for a while. It kind of went back to its roots a little bit. But Pixar, man, was really emotional. Had everything you wanted in a Pixar film. Had a very great, interesting concept that not a lot of people have tackled on, which is the emotions that are going on in their head. And early adolescence commits to early adulthood, young adulthood. And just all of that kind of combined made into this cute little just animated beautiful film. It's really good. It's Amy Poehler is in it, Bill Hader, Louis Black. They all play different emotions. Mindy Kaling, the best animated film I've seen all year, and it had to make my top 10 Pixar, I love them. Haven't seen A Good Dinosaur yet, but I aim to watch it soon. Number 8 is Sicario. Sicario is probably the most haunting, I guess you can say, has great cinematography. It's like one of the most haunting films I've seen. Benicio del Toro gives a performance to die for. I thought he was terrific in this role. Unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna get nominated for like any Oscars or anything. Unfortunately, but I still think that his performance was like up there with like some of the best this year. Like he was honestly, every time he was on screen, he was the guy you was scared of. Emily Blunt is in this movie and she gives a really good performance. Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin, everybody who's in this movie really gives a good performance. Number 7 is the Quentin Tarantino film, The Hateful Eight. I saw this in a 70mm Roadshow edition. I saw it downtown in a Regal theater. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Seeing it in the 70mm, glorious 70mm, and the Roadshow. It's a packed house. I had a really great time while watching it. It is a 3-hour-long film. However, it is one of those movies that has such great dialogues. The Quentin Tarantino dialogue we all have learned to like love, like we've all grown into. It is great at building tension. The events that happen just happen out of like there's a lot of sudden moments in the movie and like it all comes together. And the performances by Samuel L. Jackson, Walton Goggins, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Kurt Russell, they're all terrific. They're all really great. It's like that Quentin Tarantino family that he always likes to bring from his other films, and basically this movie is no different. It's an awesome movie. It's a very fun movie. It's a very funny movie. Definitely go see it. See it in 70mm if you can, because seeing it in that way I think is the way that he intended you to see this movie. Number 6, Spotlight. Spotlight was a film that I necessarily didn't know too much about while going into it. But I did hear that, it was in the front running to win Best Picture, yada yada yada. I went to go see it and I came out and really like appreciating the filmmaking in this movie, because like everybody's good, whether it's Michael Keaton, Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams, like even Liev Schreiber. They're all great. They're all great. And it's not necessarily an actor's film. However, they do give it their all in their film. But it's really the subject matter kind of like takes you. It's not one of those films that, has been, or one of those topics has been dived into so much. It really has not. Kind of like give the film more points for that, because it really like takes like, it has those balls that it really just like dives deep into it. That problem that is ongoing. Like it basically just tracks a whole bunch of journalists trying to like figure out and like understand like this problem that's happening in the Boston area, as well as all over the United States and possibly the whole world. At number 5, you guys are probably going to be a little bit surprised by this, and I hope you guys don't hate me for this, since it's not my number 1 or number 2 or number 3. However, it did make my top 5, and that is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I love this movie. I thought it was great. It's not a perfect movie, but I thought it was everything you could ask for in a Star Wars movie. Like it just is. People have a little bit of problems with it. They criticize it because they think that it's so close to the original Star Wars, and I'm just like, the story-wise is so close to the original Star Wars, and I'm just like, okay, well, everybody was complaining when the prequels came out that they were like the opposite of what the originals were. So the thing is that every story has been told before. It's just like the execution has to be there. And in my opinion, the execution of this movie was on point. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed the heck out of this movie. Like the hype for this film has just been crazy. Like Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, Harrison Ford, everybody. Carrie Fisher is terrific. Even Anthony Daniels again as C-3PO. Like everybody's great. So it's just one of those fun movies, and I cannot wait for Rogue One, and I cannot wait for Episode 8. Number 4, Mad Max. Mad Max was a film that like just came out of nowhere back in May, and everybody was talking about it. Everybody was talking about how like it was a non-stop action movie, like it just doesn't stop. And when you go into it, it does not stop. George Miller, I don't know how he did it. He's 70 years old. He made such a great action movie. Like it's just amazing to me how, like the work and effort, like if you think about like each shot or the stunts that were done, the practical effects that were like put into this film, like how did they do it? It's almost as if though, like, as a filmmaker, and from a filmmaker's perspective, you are questioning almost a lot of these stunts and shots. How did they do it? Without hurting themselves, at least, you know. Tom Hardy is great, obviously, but Charlize Theron really takes the cake with this movie. She is terrific as Furiosa. Please go see it if you guys have not seen it. I don't think it's in theaters anymore, but buy the Blu-ray. Okay, buy the Blu-ray. Number 3 is a film that I really didn't know too much about until maybe I saw the movie, and that was Room. Room was one of my favorite films of this year. It was such an incredible tale about a woman played by Brie Larson, captive in this like room, this place for like 7 years, and she's forced to have the captive's child, and child played by Jacob Tremblay is just magnificent. Like, he's great. Like, he's terrific. Honestly, he has one of the best child performances I've seen in a while. Maybe since Beasts of the Southern Wild. And I still think that he probably was better than Quavonzane Wallace. But I still, I'm blown away by both of their performances. Because Brie Larson, she just really is, the best. Like, she plays the embodiment of somebody in that position. Somebody who's put in that, terrible, terrible situation. And it's just a greatly directed feature. Oh my god, I think it's directed by Lenny Abrahamson. I may be a little wrong with that, how to pronounce his name, but I think it's directed by Lenny Abrahamson, and he just does a great job. And I have not read the book, but I hear it's very faithful to its source material, and I believe it's still in theaters, so please go check it out if you guys have not. Number 2 was, I thought, the funnest film I've seen in a theater all year, a film that I really thought was awesome, and that is Creed. Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, together is just magic. I thought it was terrific. Ryan Coogler took the Rocky character, put him in this, and just got one of the best performances we've seen on Sylvester Stallone in ages. This is the best film he's been in for a while. This is the best role he's had. This is the best film in the Rocky anthology since Rocky 1. I would definitely say that. I really enjoyed this movie, and I really thought this was amazing. I just thought one of the best films I've seen in the last few years, actually. And number 1, we have the film that I was probably most anticipated for all year, because I was wondering about how the main actor's performance was going to be. And that's The Revenant. Leonardo DiCaprio, if he does not win the Oscar, something's wrong with the Academy, or something might be manipulated. I mean, I know it's all politics, but it's great. He's terrific. The film is great. I think, honestly, Alejandro G. Iñárritu comes out of nowhere with another great movie right after Birdman, who won the Best Picture Oscar last year, and he won Best Director. He's giving it another run for his money with this movie, because it's probably better than the Birdman, in my opinion. I really feel obviously, the cinematography is on point, because Emmanuel Lubezki is probably the best, if not one of the best, if not the best cinematographers of our time. He's gonna win his 3rd cinematography Oscar in a row. He's won twice before, one for Birdman, and then the other one for Gravity. This one I am just blown away. Every shot is just framed, put together so beautifully. Leonardo DiCaprio gives an exceptional performance, and he has little to no dialogue. However, it's just that you follow him through his journey and his rejuvenation process. Ask him what happens with him with this bear, this grizzly bear. And then Tom Hardy, he's always great in everything he does. I really thought he had a good performance. Domhnall Gleeson was good as well. William Poulter, I think that's how you pronounce his name, was great as well. But it's really a director's film. I really feel even though Leonardo DiCaprio has one of the best performances I've ever seen him do, this was also a director's film. I think it's a good blend of both. The movie is just fantastic. Please go see it. It comes out everywhere, I think January 8th. And you would not be disappointed if you saw this movie, because it's just awesome. It's just an amazing film. At least that's just my opinion. Of course, you guys have other opinions. And yeah, so basically that is my top 10 films of this year, or this past year that's about to leave us. And fortunately, let's get to 2016 already. Please leave a like if you like this video. Please subscribe as well. I'm trying to see if I can do more videos. just on this channel. Let's see what happens. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys stick around to this long into the video, I genuinely appreciate you. Alright, so have a great one, and I'll talk to you guys later.